Hey y'all, APG Jamie here. Welcome to the channel. It's time for our Just Edges July. I think it's going to be the finale, probably, maybe, sort of. I don't know. Never know about these things with me. I don't anyway. And we're going to do a transparent treatment first. Now, I'm using clear packing tape. This is a name brand one, so it's a little heavier than some of the off brands, okay? And I've pulled off a piece, folded over the sticky side so that the sticky side up at the top is stuck to my mat. I pulled it out so that it basically runs along one of the lines on the grid there, trimmed it off so that the sticky side is facing up, okay? And I have it fairly well stationary. I have applied my page to the edge of it, maybe 1/4 of an inch. Now, the thing to remember, if you're going to use dried, well, actually, if you're going to use anything on the sticky side of a tape, chances are it's not coming off, especially these pressed and dried flowers. The blue ones on the right are from Amazon. You just search for pressed dried flowers on Amazon, and I'm sure there'll be crap tons of them come up. The ones on the left are some that I have clipped out of the yard, off the side of the road, wherever, y'all, just wherever, other people's yards. You know how it is. So I'd also like to suggest that you pre-arrange these on a sheet of paper over to the side before you get your tape out, because like I said, once it's on there, it's on there. And that way you can get your stuff sort of arranged. Words are going to be hard. This is the second time I've worked on this voiceover. My computer is going out, I'm afraid. So it does some funny things from time to time. Anyway, I'm also trimming those out, but being careful not to get crumbs on the sticky side of my tape. But I do have a little crumb on there, but we're all going to pretend like it's not there, so we're not even going to ever mention it again. Okay? Okay. So I'm just kind of arranging them, not overdoing it. Now, the thing to remember when you're using pressed dried flowers like this, because they're not 100% flat, there will be some small air bubbles in there and areas that you can't make the tape stick to itself, okay? Because we're going to put another piece of tape on the top part so that we have two pieces of tape, sticky side to sticky side. You can use clear stickers. My tip on the stickers, or washi, or anything else that you're going to use, be sure that it looks good from the back, unless you don't care what it looks like from the other side, because you know that's possible too. So I'm done with that, and I'm going to pull out my packing tape again. And the reason I have such big ends is because I don't want my fingerprints to be visible, because they will sometimes show your fingerprints. And I did pretty good about getting it on there pretty smooth. I only had one little wrinkle, and we will get that worked out in a minute. So I'm trimming that up, putting my little end on there so I can find the open end of the tape, and I'm burnishing it down with the bone folder. I will also burnish it with my fingers, trying to smoosh the little air bubbles out, but that's mostly was a lost cause on that. I am happy with the edge. However, it is not a super sturdy edge, meaning see, here's the little wrinkle. I'm able to get it pulled out and straightened out some, okay? It's not flimsy in the sense that it's going to come apart. It's flimsy in the sense that it's not sturdy. It's gosh, I hope that makes sense. Anyway, it's a lightweight edge is basically what I'm saying. So now I'm going to trim it with the trimmer, because I didn't get my top piece of tape on there super straight, which is something that could happen to y'all, just saying. And I will work on it a little bit, and I will end up rounding the corners with my scissors. I'm using my tweezers to get a piece of the tape stuck over there off, because you don't want to run your finger down the side of those kind of trimmers. They're awesome trimmers, but they're sharp. Okay, we've already had our cut for the year. We don't want to do that anymore. Okay, trimming it around, getting the sticky stuff off the scissors, and we're just going to round with the scissors, round the corners. Yeah, like that. Now, when I go to put this in the binding, should I actually ever bind these pages together? Because I'm planning on it, but I don't know. I will trim the page, otherwise it will be way sticky outy, because the tape is approximately more or less 2 inches wide, and my actual page is like 3.5. I don't know what it is, y'all. I don't remember. I was trying to show you with the black cardstock how pretty it looks. It looks pretty though, y'all. Just saying. Anyway, check the backs of the things you're going to put on yours, because I'm sure you're going to try it. Don't have to be this big, y'all. Edges can be on greeting cards, artist trading cards, journal cards, library cards, just whatever you want to put them on. Okay, an edge is typically just one edge. Could be a top or a bottom edge as well. But if you go all the way around, that's a border, that's a frame. Okay. So now we're just using a Martha Stewart punch. It does need to be sharpened, and I did get this from a secondhand resale store, and I think I paid like $1 or $2 for it. It was like ultra cheap. I've sharpened it once, but it still needs more. I decided to go over it with scorched timber. Not that happy with the way the scorched timber looks in real life. It looks okay on my little screen, okay, but in real life, not so much. So I'm going to get out some Lost Shadow, which is a lighter, it's a light gray color, and I'm going to put that on with just a little brush dauber-de-lolly, and it lightens up the scorched timber a little bit. It's very hard to tell. A smarter person would have said, hey, you know, it's distress ink. You could probably wipe some of that off with the baby wipe. But no, I wasn't that smart. Not that particular day. You know, hindsight. And I'm going to use archival coffee colored ink on the back side, because that is a perfect color for these dyed pages that I have. I don't know what they're dyed with. I don't know. I said I don't know. And this particular punch punches out little diamond-y, triangle-y things, but it also does a bit of embossing. Okay? I'm trying to show you, but it's really hard to see. Even in real life, it's not that easy to see. So we are moving on, and it's time for diamonds, y'all. Diamonds. Now, these particular diamonds come from the Dollar Tree. They're by Crafter Square from the Dollar Tree, and I've had them a few years. I don't know how many a few years is. Anyway, they look like they're different shapes, but they are the same shape, except for the round ones, because there's some round diamonds on there too. And they're, to me, they're supposed to mimic just rocks, chunks of rocks, which they do. So I'm arranging them hip hop, ribble wobble along the whole edge using glue. They do have stickers on them, but I'm using glue. And if you wanted to, you could take a craft knife and cut the little edge of the paper that's in between them. Cut that out. It'd be a lot of effort, but you could if you wanted to. And if you're going to put anything on the back side, you definitely want to put that on there before you put these chunky rocks on there. Okay? I love it. The colorization of those stones goes from a darker garnet almost colored up to a ruby color. So they are slightly different in colors. Now I've got some of the butterflies from the Dollar Tree as well. I've had these for several years. I've not seen them at the Dollar Tree for several years. So I was greedy and I bought more than one package of each color. So I've got all these picked out. Now the good thing about these particular butterflies is they do line up really well back to back. Not 100%, but they line up really well. So we've inked the backs with a color that coordinates with the colors on the front. You can do it different if you wanted to. And now we're going to use our Dear Julie thread antennae trick. Okay? So we're basically mass making here. Take my thread, cut it off, I don't know, a couple 3 inches, I don't know. Fold it in half so the 2 loose ends touch-ish. And then I lick my thumb and index finger and roll the folded end so that it gets kind of twisted together. Put a drop of glue on the back side of the butterfly. And I'm using a pokey tool to wiggle waggle that part of the thread, the folded part of the thread in the glue. I've got a strip of scrap card right there, or paper right there, and we're going to trim that down into little pieces that we will glue over the folded edge of the thread. Okay, and yeah, just security issues. I just want to make sure my thread doesn't pull out. I've never had it come loose, but then I almost always put paper on the back over the thread just because my insecurities, y'all. So I put another drop of glue on there, and I'm just using my tweezers to form that over the thread because it does make a slight elevation. Slight. Okay. Just going to do them all like that. And yeah, a lot of portions, well, not a lot, but several portions have been removed because it's fairly redundant stuff here. Now I'm just trimming the threads off so that both of them are the same size. None of these butterflies have the same length antennae, and that's okay, in my opinion. I've not glued the butterflies back to back yet. We're getting there. Remember, we're working on a fancy edge here, y'all. So I've taken the glue, I've run it basically across the middle of the butterfly. I've lined that up on the edge. I've got a pattern kind of that I'd already prearranged for my butterflies, and we're only gluing them on the one side right now. And essentially we are leaving the tips, the top parts of the butterfly wings, unadhered to the page edge, so that technically you could tuck something under there. Now, because it's not a straight line and there are antennae threads, it's you have to work at it a little bit. I mean, it's not real hard just to get something tucked in there because it works. And we're going to do this all the way up the one page, and that's the center-ish one. And then we're going to flip-flop it around so we can do the other side. I don't know, I'm flip-flopping. So now we're going to take that same kind of glue, run it across the middle and the bottom part of those bottom wings so that we can glue the bottoms back to back. Okay? You don't have to. I think the back side of the paper looks okay without putting these on there, but I wanted to do it double-sided, so that's what I did. And I do know that these particular butterflies work very well when adhered back to back. That's why I like them so much. Oh, I still have some. Anyway, now we got those done. I'm going to smush it all down a lot and smoosh it on down. Take the pokey tool from time to time and untwist some of the antennae. You can actually glue the antenna down with the little teeny tiny bit of glue if you want to, if someone should want to do that. And there's a few little spots that I want to just touch with the Shady Lane VersaFine ink. There's a list of ingredients in the description below if I haven't already said that. Okay? Okay. Flip-flop time. Anyway, check the back of your stickers or whatever other things you're going to layer between the two sticky sides of the tape. And if you should happen to mess up, you may be able to rescue some of your taped images like in a specimen slide or something. These are so cute. Ta-da! Photo montage. I hope I hope y'all have enjoyed this Just Edges July exploration. And what are your favorites? Have you shared any with me yet? I hope so, because I sure like seeing it. It is an open collab challenge should you want to participate during the month of July, now that it's over. Y'all. Oh, hindsight. It's almost 2020. Oh, it's past 2020. Oh, let's not even go there. Any hoots, there was one that misfilmed totally, and you'll see that in the photo montage. I just took two straight strips of paper that was one was 1/2 inch wider than the other, layered them together, top and just so that they became tuck spots. There we go. Added some threads, and that particular edge has 2 tuck spots. The back side has a piece of crochet lace, and it's also a tuck spot. You didn't miss a whole lot on that one. Easy peasy, fresh and breezy. See, you can tuck in the butterflies, and then we're going to flip, and you're going to see the other side tuck in. There we go. Makes me happy. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy arting, y'all.